Alrighty, I think I'm recording. Alright guys, this is my second time recording this video. The last time it took me 45 minutes to do a quick walkthrough of Exosister for the Genesys format in Yu-Gi-Oh! So this is the deck right here, Exosister. This time we're going to get it done much faster. It's 11:57 right now. We're going to shoot for done by 12:15, which I think is doable. I'm just going to get started with a quick little... Holy shit, did you hear that, dude? Dude. I'm gonna shut my door. We gotta get this guy a spit bucket. Alright. Alright, so getting serious now. Let's do this. I'm gonna walk through really quickly like 2 card types and then get started on some quick Yu-Gi-Oh basics. And then we'll actually get to the card by card, and then I'll do a couple combos / test hands, and that'll be it. So quickly walking through the anatomy of a Yu-Gi-Oh card. We have over here, where my cursor is, we have the name of the card. Over here, this little circle, that's the attribute. These little stars indicate the level. You see like 4, these look like Dragon Balls. Yeah, 4 Dragon Balls, it's a level 4 monster. See it says Spellcaster over here? Means a spellcaster type. It's an effect monster, so it's a spellcaster / effect. Over here, all those words you don't got to read yet, that's the actual effect. And then over here's the card art. Its attack is 1600, its defense is 800. Yeah, pretty straightforward. All you have to worry about is the levels in this deck, and the effect for any deck. And the names kind of with technical play. There's other types of Yu-Gi-Oh cards. These green ones are spells. You put them in the spell area and they do stuff. You can use them right away from your hand. When it has a little lightning bolt over here next to the word spell card, it means you can use it on your opponent's turn by setting it down first on the field. If it has a little infinity sign like this, it means you can leave it face up on the field. It's kind of like an enchantment in Magic. These purple cards are called traps, and you set them on the field during your turn, face down. You flip them on your opponent's turn. You say, "Ha! You activated my trap card," and you do something that is usually stronger than a spell. All right. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Those are the 3 kinds of cards in your extra deck. That's over here. It says extra. We have these cards, these black cards over here. They're very similar to regular monster cards. These are called Exes monsters. They're black. That's the main differentiating factor. And the stars are now black, and they're called rank instead of level. So let's take a look at this one. This is a rank 4 monster. And it says over here the requirements, 2 level 4 monsters. So all you have to do is overlap 2 level 4 monsters. You stack them on top of each other and put this card on top. So it's like a pile of 3 cards. You would stack 2 level 4s and then put like the rank 4 on top. Then you've satisfied the requirements. You now have a rank 4 monster. And that's all this deck does. You make 2 level 4s, you stack them up, and you make a rank 4 monster. And it'll do something that's better than the 2 level 4s individually. That's the idea. Going into the training room real quick. What is the goal of Yu-Gi-Oh? Here's the goal of Yu-Gi-Oh. It's really this simple, guys. Andrew, you know this well. You put a monster on the board. This one has 500 attack. You go to the battle phase. You attack. And you want to get that 8,000 down to a 0. So this whole deck is all about just getting a couple strong guys on the board. They have some pretty basic effects. They punish their opponents for using the graveyard too much. You have a lot of really strong hand traps. Yeah, and then you just eventually swing for game. You bleed them dry over the course of a few turns. It's pretty easy to set up, pretty easy to execute, really quick to learn. Hard to master, especially at the higher level when other players are able to play around you with their decks. But for the most part, this is a really good deck to get started on, especially in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Genesys format where I think I've told you guys all about this. The power level is lower. Stronger decks tend to activate from the graveyard, and hand traps aren't as popular. So, yeah, what makes this deck good is that it's kind of like a more moderate level, like actual engine of cards that you're using to summon things with. And because the actual engine of cards is a little weaker, your hand traps get to be a little stronger. That's how the format balances itself. Card by card. Starting with Exosister Martha, what this card says is you can special... Oh yeah, one more thing about Yu-Gi-Oh! You can normal summon once per turn. It means normal summoning means putting a monster that's level 4 or lower directly from your hand to the field. You can special summon as many times as you want. So when something special summons itself, it's good because it means it's not using your normal summon. If a card effect says normal summon this monster, it is not taking away your normal summon. That's a game mechanic. It's giving you a normal summon by card effect. It does come up later, but only for like one card. Anyway, let's do it. Exosister Martha, this is your best starter. It says you can special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, special summon one Exosister Ellis from your deck. This is Exosister Ellis. This is the card that Exosister Martha summons. If you have it in your hand and you happen to already control an Exosister monster, it says you can special summon this card from your hand. Then, if you control Exosister Stella, you gain 800 life points. So what's going on here? This is a starter. It gives you 2 level 4s to go right into a rank 4. This is an extender. If someone is able to stop your starter's effect from activating, it gets on your hand, and I don't know, for some reason they get rid of one of them. But you already have one of these, it's okay. You're still going to make that rank 4. Here's our next card, Exosister Stella. So during your main phase, you can special summon one Exosister monster from your hand. Right, this is a starter / extender. If you have Stella plus any other Exosister monster, you can normal Stella for turn, use its effect, summon, I don't know, another Stella from your hand. Right, and you go to your rank 4, and you're cooking. You're gonna get your win con. Exosister Sophia. It says if you control another Exosister monster, you can draw 1 card. Pretty good, right? Good card draw. And notice there's only one of this in the deck. It's because it's not that good. But it's alright. It's good to have one of. Then we have Exosister Irene. You can place 1 Exosister card from your hand on the bottom of the deck and draw 1 card. Then if you control Sophia, you gain 800. This card's like the worst one, to be honest. But it's good to have one of it for reasons like you'll see later. But, you know, it's not really that good. It just draws you a card, and it doesn't even get you +1 in card advantage. So that's like the main like Exosister monsters. As you can see, like the best ones are Martha, Ellis, and Stella. And yeah, it's pretty straightforward. You just either use the effect of Martha to shit out 2 monsters, or have Stella plus another Exosister, or Ellis plus another Exosister. Pretty straightforward. Here's another group of cards right here that are good. We have Ichiki Sayori Hime. Once per turn. Oh wait, hold on. Here we go. I always forget this card does. This is once per turn. If you control a monster with 800 attack or defense, and this card is in your hand, immediately after this effect resolves, you can normal summon this card. So if you notice, these cards all have 800 defense. So if you already control an Exosister, you can just summon her out of your hand for free. When it is normal summon, you can add 1 level 4 light or dark monster with 800 attack or defense from a deck to your hand. So this is pretty good, right? It means you can kind of just grab another Exosister, or you can grab this card right here, Aratama, my goat. Once per turn, Once per turn in the end phase, if this card was normal summoned or flipped face up this turn, return to the hand. That will never come up. When this card is normal summoned or flipped face up, you can add 1 spirit monster from your deck to your hand except Aratama. So basically this card says, let's say like, I don't know, you special summoned Martha, you got like this card another level 4 or something like that. Then you had Ichiki Sayori Hime in your hand, you can like, put it on the field, search yourself an Aratama, put it on the field, and then add another spirit monster like Sakitama. This says you can reveal this card in your hand once per turn. Immediately after this effect resolves, normal summon 1 spirit monster from your hand. Again, it's like, all these cards, it's like these cards right here, all these spirit guys, what they do is they normal summon themselves, and they're all level 4s. And this one searches you another, this one searches you another, and this one normal summons itself for effect. This card is like the benefits of these two put into one card, but these are still good. This card is called 7th Tachyon. What this does is it searches you, Exosister Martha. This is your best starter in the deck. You will probably win if you draw this card and it resolves. So having another 3 copies in the form of 7th Tachyon is really good. And then we have Exosister packs. This says add any Exosister card from your deck to your hand. Yeah, this is another 3 copies of Martha. If you already have Martha, get a different one. If you already resolved your Exosister like main combo, which we'll discuss later, then in that case, you can add any Exosister monster. So you can add one of your spells or any Exosister card. So you can add one of your spell and traps instead. What are these spell and traps? Well, we have Exosister Carpe Divum. Yeah. This card basically says when you Xyz summon, you can declare a card name, and your opponent cannot use that card on the field until the end of the turn. So if you know what your opponent is playing, if it's game 2 or 3, you can be like, I know you need this card to win, so I'm going to declare this card's name. When I see something now for the rest of this turn, you can't use it on the field. They can still use it in their hand, so be careful with what you decide to say. Then we have Exosister Returnia. If all monsters you control Exosister monsters, you can either banish a card on the field, or if you happen to have already Xyz summon that turn, or if you haven't already Xyz summon this turn, you can Xyz summon on your opponent's turn. It's pretty good, especially when paired with Exosister Vadis, which says special summon 2 Exosister monsters from your deck. That's not exactly what it says, but that's basically what it says. So the idea is like in this deck, you're going to try to set Returnia. Even better if you can set Vadis and Returnia. If you can only pick one, you pick this one. Now I'm going to explain really quickly the extra deck monsters. These are the cards that you want to be summoning on your opponent's turn, on your turn, to disrupt your opponent on their turn. You want to use their effects on your opponent's turn. Let's just go through it. These are kind of like the main things you need to understand for this deck. Everything else has been pretty straightforward. It's just been shit this card from your hand to the field. These cards are going to be a little more complicated. Let's go with the first one, Exosister Mikalis. This is kind of your flagship boss monster. Kind of enables everything else. So you take your 2 level 4 monsters. Those are the requirements. It says, once per turn, you can use each of these effects. Effect 1 is, you control this card that was Xyz summoned this turn by using an Exosister monster as material. Quick effect, which means during other player's turn at any time, you can target 1 card your opponent controls or in their graveyard and banish it. So this is a really good card. If you summon it on your opponent's turn, that means you can at any time banish a card from their graveyard or field. Really good. Banishing is the best form of removal. Then it has this effect that you can use at any time. Not at any time, like during your turn, but you didn't have to have summoned it that turn. You can detach 1 material from this card, add an Exosister spell or trap from your deck to your hand. So this is great. You can search Exosister pack to refine your hand. You can search this if you know what your opponent's going to do. You can search this because it's like your best trap card. Or you can use Exosister Vadis and you can shit out a couple Exosister monsters. If you know your opponent's on graveyard stuff, this is the best card to use, and I'll explain why at the end of this card by card. Next, Exosister Caspatel. If this card is Xyz summoned using an Exosister monster's material, neither player can special summon monsters from the graveyards for the rest of this turn. This card is fucking obnoxious. I hate this card. This shit's stupid. No one can summon from the graveyards for the rest of the turn. All my favorite decks do that. I hate it. Yeah, I hate this. But you have to summon it on your opponent's turn to kind of like fully get the benefits of that card. Doesn't really matter. For your main combo, you're going to use its other effect to attach a material from this card, add 1 Exosister monster from your deck to your hand. So do you see the kind of like the theme here? You make this card and it lets you search another monster. You make this card and it lets you search a spell or trap. And that's how you consistently get to your final end board. And that's how you get to your final big boss guy right here, Exosisters Magnifica. This is definitely the best card in your deck. Really good way to stop the opponent. So let's go through these 2 effects. They're kind of complicated. Once per turn, quick effect, you can detach 1 material from this card, banish 1 card your opponent controls. So it doesn't have to be a monster. It can just be any card at all. obviously broken, banishing. It's insanely busted. All right, here's the other effect, and it sounds kind of weird. It'll make more sense in game. You can return one Xyz monster you own attached to this card to your extra deck. Then you can special summon that monster from your extra deck by using this card you control as a material when your opponent activates a card or effect. What? What's going on here? All right, here's what's going on here. Imagine you have Exosister's Magnifica on the board. Your opponent just activated this card that says target a card your opponent controls and destroy it. And you're like, shit, I have this card on the field. What am I going to do? You're going to use this effect, and you're going to say, they activated this card. You're going to return the Xyz monster that is attached to this card, the one that you overlaid to make this card, to your extra deck. And then you're going to summon it back and put Exosister's Magnifica underneath. You've now Xyz summoned on your opponent's turn. You've dodged the thing that said targeting, and you're going to get all the benefits of that new Xyz summon. So basically what this card does is it gets on the field, it banishes something, it fucks off back to your extra deck, and everyone's happy. Usually you go into another Mechalus to get a banish, using that kind of effect that it has. But let's do a quick combo. We're going to do this combo. It's just Exosister Martha. We're going to throw like a bunch of hand traps into the deck. Here, wait, actually, no. We're going to do like a very, very redundant hand. This is Exosister's Martha and like 4 cards that search it or another Exosister. We're only going to use Martha, okay? So let's get started really quick. We control no monsters or only Xyz monsters. That's the condition for this effect, right? Since we don't control any, we use its effect. And we're going to summon it from the hand along with Ellis from the deck. That's what this card says. It says free Xyz summon. And then you just get to go into, let's see, go into Mechalus. We can use the effect of Exosister's Mechalus. We can search out a copy of whatever kind of Exosister card we want. Let's see, in this case, this is tricky. I mean, this end board's going to be a little bit less powerful. But I guess we would go for Exosister's Vadis. This is what we do. This is like just an example of what we do, right? You make a rank 4 monster by putting 2 level 4s. You click on the extra deck, and then you make the Exosister Mechalus, and you set one of your traps. Definitely like the weakest combo in the deck, but this is just like the basic flow of the deck, not meant to be taken too seriously. Usually you're not going to have a hand like just Martha and nothing else. So why don't we just enable deck shuffling. I'm going to do a quick test hand, and then this is a terrible hand. We're not going to play. Actually, wait. Oh, no, this is actually a good hand. This is a good hand. Why did I say that? I'm a fool. All right. We have Exosister Stella. We normal summoned it. That's the one we get each turn. Let's use her effect. Summon the other copy of Stella that we have from our hand. Now we're going to go into Exosister's Caspitel. You see what we did? We took these 2 level 4s. Hold on. We took these 2 level 4s on the field. You see them right here. We click on our extra deck. And look at where they're going to go. We're going to make Caspitel. And now it's on the field. And there are 2 guys that are underneath. Don't go to the graveyard. If we click on this little star here, that's like little 2, we can see it says overlay materials. These are the cards we used. And you have to think of it as like stacks of paper. So we literally like overlapped them. If we were playing with real physical cards, we would have like made a little pile of cards. And this card would be on top, and the 2 guys would be underneath. Let's use her effect right now. We're going to search a copy of Martha. Use the effect of Martha, since we control no monsters or only Xyz monsters, and special summon it. And then we can go into Mechalus. Same game mechanic, Xyz summoning. We're going to use the effect. We get to search our Returnia. We can set it. Look at that. We even opened this. We're not going to use it. We're going to keep it in our hand. Just show that this is a 2-card combo. Then we're going to go into Exosisters Magnifica. Same idea. We overlaid these 2 guys that we had made into this card. The requirements are 2 rank 4 Exosisters monsters. So just a quick breakdown of what we can do with this board. On our opponent's turn, we can attach a material and banish it. Banish a card they do, or they have. Then when they activate something, we're going to use its effect. We're going to put Exosister Mikalis back in the deck, summon it on the field. Now that will say, if you control this monster that was special summoned this turn, you can target a card your opponent controls or on their graveyard, banish it. So we get 1 banish from this card's effect. We tag it out into Mikalis, get another banish. And then our last interruption is our Exosister Returnia. It says, if all monsters you control are Exosisters monsters, you can pay 800 life points, target 1 card your opponent controls in the graveyard, banish it. And then you have this thing, it says right here, if you Exy summon this turn, banish 1 card your opponent controls. So basically, it's a banish 2. You banish 1 with Magnifica, banish another with the Mikalis that you're going to summon, and banish 2 with Returnia. That's 4 banishes off of a 2-card combo. You're trading 2 for 4. It's a pretty winning trade, especially for a game where you have a 6-card starting hand. So yeah, that's like kind of another example of a combo. I think that's enough. We went a little over the intended time, but it's all right. I'm gonna make another video where I actually like test like the deck in matches, probably right after this. But I'm gonna